Coming up on Citrus TV.
A recap of the scandal that struck the Student Association.
And a look into little free libraries around the area.
And the new numbers show that unemployment rates are on the move.
Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Hello and welcome to Citrus TV News. I'm Brooke Glatz, filling in for Jacob Reynolds.
And I'm Topher Lane. Earlier today, the Student Association announced a 150 vote deduction from the campaign candidates of Charlie Maslioni and Jessica Brzozowski. That's our top story tonight. The Student Association Judicial Board met last night to determine how to handle accusations against the campaign of Charlie Maslioni and Jessica Brzozowski. The campaign was under heat for allegedly promising former candidate Andrew Brendel a position on the cabinet in return for his endorsement. After hours of deliberation and consultation with all parties involved, the board decided to cut 150 votes for Maslioni and Brzozowski from the total vote count. Judicial Review Board Chair Abulazi Al-Sulaiti says the cut is not meant to silence student voices.
Seeing that there was a violation of the Constitution and the bylaws, we saw that this was the only way that we can penalize their campaign. If we had found that there was, another option that we can take to, not take away votes from them, we would have taken that action. But it's the same thing as, disqualifying a whole campaign is even worse. So, and that was the second option that we had, next to this option. We're definitely not taking away the student voices. We're definitely listening to all the students, and we will definitely also release, once the polls are closed and once we have all the votes, we will definitely, release the actual row number of votes, and then we will calculate the 150 votes deduction into it. So we will release all the data and we'll be more transparent in this process. So for those of the students that are saying we're taking away their voices are heard, and we know about that, and we are taking into account all of their voices.
For everyone looking to have a mimosa at an early Sunday brunch but can't because of a New York State law, well, your prayers may be answered. The blue law, which prohibits the sale of alcohol before noon on Sundays, is under consideration to be lifted. The ban was first put in place after the prohibition in 1934, but is now considered outdated. The proposals need to be approved by the state legislature and signed by the governor to become law.
And another law may be enacted by New York State in the near future as well. Police are working to pass a law that would allow officers to see if a driver involved in a crash was illegally using their phone to text or check emails at the time of the accident. Right now, police typically have to apply for warrants to inspect a phone or phone records, which take paperwork and time. This immediate access to a driver's phone will allow officers to know if a phone was being used, but would not allow them to read the contents of the phone.
And the College of Law announced today that Craig Boise is the new law school's new dean. Boise comes to Syracuse University from Cleveland Marshall College of Law at Cleveland State University. This news comes after yesterday's announcement that Vice President Biden will be speaking at the commencement this year. The dean will assume his new role on July 1st of this year. And coming up next, where you should find out your next book to read.
And a shocking new law north of the border.
Citrus TV will be right back.
Sun is out and the skies are blue. Taking a look at our national map, you can see temperatures across most of the country above 55. In our region, we're seeing 55 to 60. Definitely nice weather on the way for the weekend, but will it stick around for when classes resume on Monday? I have your answer coming up after the break.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point. There's smoky.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Huntington!
Every proper bear knows that the right fit means everything. Especially when it comes to car seats.
Oh, really? I just did what any bear would do.
So know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size.
I like it.
To learn more, visit safercar.gov/the-right seat.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, where's that bear?
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Two little free libraries were put in Cazenovia last year, but now there's a push to get 4 more in the area. Citrus TV reporter Maria Senti tells us why Cazenovia Public Library and the Cazenovia Rotary Club are partnering to move this program forward.
Usually when we go for walks often through the village, so I'm always like, hey, can I stop at the Little Free Library?
13-year-old Rena Steele uses a Little Free Library in Cazenovia very often. She's excited to get more in the area because she says they're quick and easy to use.
It's better than a library because at a library you have a certain amount of time to get your books back, but like to the Little Free Library you don't have any fines or anything, and you can just bring it back whenever you want, and you can bring new books to share with others.
When you check out a book at a regular public library, the first thing you have to do is get a library card. Once you get your card, you could go pick out a book, hand both of them to the librarian, and eventually she'll pass you both of them back along with your receipt. But here at a Little Free Library, there's no library card or scanning process. All you have to do is show up, return a book, or take one, and there are no obligations to bring any books back. Cazenovia Public Library Director Betsy Kennedy says part of the reason why more Little Free Libraries are needed in Cazenovia is because stewards replace the books inside them weekly.
If they've been in there and our regular Little Free Library users see the same books over and over again, they're going to stop coming because they just figure, oh, well, they're always the same ones there.
In order to keep things fresh, the new Little Free Libraries will be placed at 4 different locations, including the Cazenovia Children's House and Lakeland Park. Kennedy says new locations means more convenience for users.
If you're walking by, you can just pick a book up quickly.
If everything goes as planned, the new Little Free Libraries will be coming to the Cazenovia area this summer.
Presidential hopefuls Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders will be in Brooklyn tonight for CNN's Democratic debate. This comes just days ahead of New York's presidential primary, which could mark a turning point for either candidate in the primary season. Expect Sanders to get grilled on policy specifics and Clinton to answer for her Wall Street ties. Donald Trump has announced he'll be campaigning at the On Center in downtown Syracuse on Saturday. Tickets are free and people are being asked to RSVP on his campaign website. Doors will open at 9 a.m. with the rally expected to start at noon. When Bernie Sanders campaigned there on Tuesday, the venue was filled to capacity. The deputy constable shot after a traffic stop in Texas late last night is expected to survive. Harris County Deputy Constable Alden Clopton was shot 4 times while talking to his partner. Investigators questioned a man that matched the suspect's description after he showed up at a local fire station. The motive behind the attack has not yet been determined. And a report from a Chicago task force says the Chicago Police Department is full of systematic racism. Among other things, the report detailed times in which people of color were stopped without justification, verbally and physically abused, and detained without counsel. The report lends even more credibility to the city's African-American residents who have long complained about police mistreatment.
A new video appears to show the kidnapped Nigerian schoolgirls alive. The world is calling it the proof of life video, and it's believed to have been recorded on Christmas Day last year. The video shows 15 girls lined up against a wall answering to orders. Nearly 300 schoolgirls were kidnapped by the terrorist group Boko Haram from the town of Chibok 2 years ago. Dozens have escaped, but more than 200 remain missing. And China has made a ruling in its first ever gay marriage case, and it's not a positive one for marriage equality advocates. The court in central China is rejecting a gay couple's plea to be able to legally marry. The court accepted the case back in January, surprising many, but made the ruling against the men yesterday. In dismissing the case, the court cited China's 1981 marriage law, which specifies who is allowed to marry and who isn't. The couple says they will appeal this decision. And a new plan was announced today to help stop terrorists from being able to travel into foreign countries. The European Union said the new passenger name record law will share airline passenger information in order to track foreign fighters from conflict areas like Syria and Iraq. Under the plan, passenger data from those flying into or out of member countries will be held for 6 months in order to track the fighters' whereabouts. The EU already has similar deals with the US, Canada, and Australia. And Canada has passed a law-assisted suicide law, but it will only apply to Canadians. Americans will not be able to travel across the border to take advantage of the law as previously thought. Other provisions of the law exclude the mentally ill and do not allow people to place requests to end their life in the future. Now we'll toss it over to Brendan and Topher to get a look at what we can expect for after the break. Guys?
History was made in sports last night. We'll have the full stories coming up later.
And we had an absolutely beautiful weather today here in Syracuse. Spring is here. Does it look like it will stay? I'll have your full answer in my 5-day forecast coming up after the break.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
We had clear skies and warmer weather here today, but is this spring weather going to stay through the weekend? Brendan Tierney has the full answer in his weather forecast. Brendan?
Thanks, Brooke. Yeah, definitely a beautiful day here in Syracuse today. 55 degrees is what it's outside right now, but it's feeling like 65, close to 70 degrees with a nice bright sun that's been out in the skies, bright blue, clear skies throughout the campus. Taking a look at our departure map, you can see that we're not actually that high above average. So we're finally back to what's normal here in the Syracuse region, which is really different. Normally 30, 40 degrees is what we're used to, but it's finally April and it's feeling like that here. Moving on, you can see radar, we're going to say nice and dry too. Southeast is getting a bit of rain, same with the Midwest. Nice and dry, at least through the weekend here, which is good if anyone's coming into the area for Citrus TV Alumni Weekend. First, we got to get through tomorrow as we take a look at tonight's weather. Low will be 30 degrees, nice clear skies, sun setting at 7:47 p.m. And we have a new moon, so get outside, nice clear skies. Go take a look at that tonight. Taking a look at your Citrus TV 5-day forecast. See, tomorrow, Friday, 61 degrees, nice, bright and sunny through the weekend, 66 on Saturday, and even warmer on Sunday. We're seeing 70 degrees on Sunday. Unfortunately, some rain will be moving into the area Monday evening. About a 55% chance of some rain. We're still nice and warm, 68 degrees, and we're cooling down a little bit on Tuesday.
All right, thanks, Brendan. So we have some alumni coming back into town this weekend. What should they pack for the weekend?
Definitely pack some warm spring-like weather. Nice outside for alumni weekend here. 70 degrees, going to be beautiful.
All right, and I know you must be getting this a lot, but we only have a couple weeks left of school. Can we expect nice weather, or is it going to drop down again like it did?
I don't think we're going to be seeing any more snow, but definitely nice weather. Not super nice, but I don't think we're going to be getting above 70, 80, but nice weather, 50s, 60s.
Perfect. Pack the coats away time then it
Definitely, you can take those home.
All right. And now we tune in to your ICYMI segment, where we will fill you in on all the entertainment, consumer, and health news you may have missed. Topher, what do we need to know?
The number of Americans seeking unemployment benefits last month is the lowest it's been since 1973. The Labor Department reported that applications for jobless benefits fell 13,000. This means good news for the job market, since historically low figures usually indicate a healthy year. And the Golden Arches are looking to downsize. McDonald's is reportedly looking for a private company to buy nearly 3,000 of the chain restaurants in North Asia. This comes as competition between fast food restaurants in the region intensifies, with the goal of having partners own the restaurants within a franchise business model. Markets where the sales could happen include Hong Kong, China, and South Korea. And health regulators are proposing to ban the Theranos Inc. founder from her blood testing business. The proposition against Elizabeth Holmes comes after regulators say the company failed to fix major problems at its lab in California. The proposal could prevent Holmes from running any lab for at least 2 years, including the ones that generate the most revenue and are the core of its strategy to revolutionize the blood testing industry. And ExxonMobil Corporation is going against government investigators who say the energy giant covered up knowledge of how fossil fuels contribute to climate change. Exxon was in court this week to shoot down a subpoena issued last month by the U.S. Virgin Islands. The New York Attorney General is joining the Virgin Islands Attorney General's investigation into whether Exxon misled investigators and the public about the threat of climate change. And NASA's last space shuttle external fuel tank is on its way to California, where it will be a part of a permanent display with the retired space shuttle Endeavour. The 15-story, 32.5-ton tank was never used in flight and will find its new home at the California Space Center in Los Angeles. It's expected to arrive on May 18th after a trip on a barge from New Orleans. Amazon introduced its new petite and pocketable Kindle yesterday. The new e-reader, called the Oasis, is shorter and thinner than the previous one, but only gets 2 weeks of battery life on its own, a sharp decrease from the last. Along with a leather cover that doubles as a power source, it also comes with a large price tag of $290. And it was a big night for Cali last night. NBA legend Kobe Bryant played the final game of his 20-year career last night at the Staples Center, and he went out with a bang. He scored 60, that's right, 60 points, leading the Lakers to a comeback victory over the Utah Jazz. And the Black Mamba is an 18-time All-Star and won 5 rings with the Lakers. He's largely considered one of the best players of his generation. Speaking after the game, he said it was crazy how fast the 20 years went. And traveling about 5 hours north of LA, the Golden State Warriors made history last night. With a 125-104 win over the Memphis Grizzlies, Golden State broke the record for most wins in a season with a whopping 73. This overtakes Michael Jordan's 95-96 Bulls team that won only 72 games. The Warriors now look to the NBA playoffs to defend their championship title. And now for even more sports news, let's send it over to Eric Simon with What's Up after the break. Eric?
Coming up on sports, Syracuse softball scored enough runs to win a football game. Plus, tennis goes down to take on Miami, the Islanders begin their chase for a Stanley Cup, and a big trade happened in the NFL. All this and more when we return.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness.
I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
If you see news happening on campus in Syracuse or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom at 315-443-1177 or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Staring contest.
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Welcome back. I'm Eric Simon, and here's what's happening in sports. Syracuse softball was back in action yesterday and did not disappoint. They won both games of a doubleheader against Canisius, 4-0, and forcing the win in 5 innings after being up 22-1. The 2 wins extended the Orange's win streak to 4 in a row and improved their record to 21-17. Sophomore Anne-Marie Gotti pitched 3 innings and earned her 8th win of the year, allowing just 1 run. Senior Corinne Ozane had a memorable day. Citrus TV's Nicole Hansen was there for the special night.
Syracuse fans might be thinking that there's something in the water here at Skytop softball field that's causing all these home runs to fly out of the park. First a couple weeks ago against Georgia Tech, and then Wednesday against Canisius. Corinne Ozane made history with one of those home runs in Game 2 against Canisius, hitting her 47th home run of her career and breaking the program record.
I didn't really think that I was going to be a huge home run hitter. I mean, I hit home runs in high school, but I didn't expect it to be like this type of thing. And I mean, just to break records is just awesome. It's just a cool feeling. And
I watch her approach every time, and she's someone that I look up to. She's always so calm when she goes up to the plate, and she knows that what she can do, and she just produces all the time. And you know, she's someone that I hope that I could be when I get to that point in my career.
Her best thing is probably her consistency. If you look at the number of home runs she's had each year, it's been a 10, a 12, a 13. It's been very consistent. It's not been one of those years where she's had 18 or 20, or another year where it's been 4 or 5. So it's kind of that consistency that's got her to the point where she's got 47.
Syracuse looks to continue their winning ways when they take on NC State in a 3-game series starting on Saturday. Reporting from Skytop softball field, Nicole Hansen, Citrus TV.
And what is wrong with Orange lacrosse? The usual powerhouse dropped another overtime game, most recently against in-state rival Cornell. The Orange played their next game against UNC in what most are saying is a must-win.
The Cornell game came down to shooting. And, we had some, I think, very good players with one-on-ones with a goalie, and we didn't put it away. And even some of the guys that did score for us, guys that we rely on that had some points. They had some other opportunities that we didn't put away, and Cornell does play very good team defense. I thought they did a good job, and their goalie obviously had 13 saves, but we had a lot more opportunities to put it in, and we have to capitalize on those, or we're not going to get we're not going to get these wins unless we put it in the back of the net.
We got to come out just like we do every game, and obviously it is kind of a must-win, not only for the tournament-wise, but for us. So this practice, the whole week has been pretty high tempo, and everyone's pretty motivated for this weekend.
I thought we were getting better. As we've talked about all year long, this is a brand new team, especially offensively, and I thought we were getting better from week to week. And it's disappointing to have the losses that we've had, but 3 of them have been by 1 goal in overtime. So we've been right there. We've been competing, and now we just need to get over the hump.
And from the turf, we move on to the clay as the Orange tennis team travels to nice and warm Florida. The Orange will take on the Hurricanes tomorrow at 11 a.m. The University of Miami is number 7 in the nation and are 15-4 on the season and an impressive 10-2 in ACC play. Syracuse, though, has won 4 matches in a row and won 2 straight road matches. They currently sit at 12-6 on the season. And we move from college to the pros as the New York Islanders will play their first playoff game of the year against the Florida Panthers. The Islanders finished the season 45-27-10 this season with 100 points, 5th best in the East. Also, the Islanders have made the playoffs for the first time since their move to the Barclays Center, which became their new home this season. The game will be at BB&T Center in Florida, and the puck drops at 8 o'clock. And believe it or not, the NFL draft is approaching us. The Titans had the worst record in 2015, earning them the first pick in the draft, but traded that pick yesterday to the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams currently have Case Keenum as their starting quarterback, but will likely use that pick on either Carson Wentz of North Dakota State or Jared Goff of Cal Berkeley. In the trade, the Titans will receive the Rams' first-round pick, 2 second-round picks, 3rd-round pick, as well as their 1st-round pick and 3rd-round pick next year.
Thanks, Eric. What are you wearing tomorrow for class, everybody?
And what games are you watching this weekend?
Find out more after the break on Citrus TV. We'll be right back.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Preventing wildfires. That's all Smokey wants for his 70th birthday.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
So, Brendan, what should we wear when we wake up tomorrow morning?
Well, it's definitely going to be a little colder tomorrow morning. The cold will be burning off by afternoon, but it's going to be in the 30s mid-morning, so bundle up. You can ditch that jacket, though. It's going to be 60 in the afternoon.
All right. And Eric, for everyone who's coming to see the Lax game this weekend, what can we expect from that?
I think you expect a very intense matchup. Huge game for Syracuse, as you know, they haven't been playing as well as usual this season. So I would expect a really close game, but don't be surprised if Syracuse does come away with the W.
So it's been a tough year for men's lacrosse. Is this a must-win game against UNC?
Absolutely. It's a must-win, especially, first of all, for the ACC tournament and even for the NCAA tournament. Syracuse, they need this win, especially after another overtime loss to Cornell.
All right, thanks, Eric.
Thank you. Our show's winding down, but stick around on OTN for On the Bench. Then get all of your entertainment news from Orange Zest and catch up on all your political news on Talking Points.
Well, that's it for Citrus TV News Live at 6 tonight, but if you just can't get enough, make sure and follow us on Twitter at CitrusTV News and check us out online at citrustv.com. I'm Topher Lane.
And I'm Brooke Glatz. Have a great rest of your night, Syracuse.